I came out in like 2006. At that time, being homosexual, it was not nothing that a lot of people were proud of, a lot of people hid. And because you had to hide that, you found these houses, and in these houses you had house mothers and you had house fathers. Your real parents, for different reasons, they disowned you, they didn't approve of the lifestyle, they didn't approve of the choices. But these mothers and fathers, these was the people who made sure you got to school every day. These was the people who made sure you ate.
You know, you can read the news and see it's a lot that goes on here, from violence and gangs and different things like that. So coming out in our city is kind of hard, because to be honest with you, I came out in this city and I didn't just come out and I was never a flame. I've never been the type that you would be able to know that I was gay because of that reason. You know, I didn't want to get picked on, beat up, and nothing like that. I had friends that came out that were feminine, and you know, I watched them, but I just kind of blended in with the guys and hung with the fellas, because my city was so masculine.
Like for me, when I came out, like my family, they didn't agree with it, because honestly, where we grew up, not only was it not heard of, but people really looked at you like you are a unicorn. Like, hey, so let me just try to pretend like I'm not, or let me just try to hold back my real feelings, or like how I really feel. I'm trying to change it to fit society. And like the reason I really got involved in like the house scene and the ballroom scene is like, well, I have a niece and her name is Mary. She was caught in a house fire, and it's because of some racist or prejudiced thinking or whatever. It may be stupidity, ignorance, whatever you want to call it. It just, she lost her life. And it really, really separated my family. Like, it really separated us. And so, at that time, I met one of my friends, Marcus. He used to always take me to the park. And, like, it's funny, we went to high school together, and
we used to leave school.
We would leave school and literally, like, fly down the freeway to get to the park and just sit in the park. And I would literally, my heart would melt, because there's so many people like me, and I felt like, oh my God, people are looking at me like a unicorn. You know, these are the people who really took me in, and I honestly feel more comfortable around. And stop.
I remember.
Right. No shame. We were in my living room. We would Vogue all day. And my family really encouraged me to just be you. Like, they loved me for being me, you know. So it really made me feel like a part of something. And when times were stressful, when I didn't have my family there to really be like, hey, everything's gonna be okay, like, don't worry about it. These are my people, like, girl, get up, let's Vogue, bitch. Or, you know, excuse me, let's Vogue. And I think that was an outlet for me, allowing myself to just let all my frustrations and let everything, actually just leave everything out the door and just put everything on the floor and just perform. And just tell your story. Honestly, I love Vogue because you can tell your story with your hands. And then it's a way for you to just get out of yourself. I'm not Michael when I'm on the floor, or I'm in the ballroom scene. I'm Mike Chanel. You know what I mean? And so it allows me to leave all the bull, all the doubt, all the fears, all the insecurities, wherever they need to be. And I get there, and I'm there. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate my family. I love them because they are my family. They're not just like house members. These are my family. They took me through things in which I really needed help at that time.
So the Ruth Ellis Center is a place where young people come to get support services, and we focus on lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, and questioning young people in Detroit and Metro Detroit. So when you're working with people who've experienced a lot of rejection in different places, or even from other social service organizations, just going through that rigmarole of red tape and fill this paperwork out, or this form wasn't filled out properly, it's important for us to create a space and a place where we minimize that as much as possible. You know, so we have what we call Ruth's Resource Wall, and it's just, you know, the things that you would need to stay fly, or, you know, to get ready for voguing, like a toothbrush, toothpaste, hair care products, underwear, socks. And, you know, it's important for us to make sure that those things are available. It's important to use Vogue and dancing as a way to connect because it's important to respect the communities that you work within and the things that are valuable and cherished and important and sacred even, to honor those things. And Vogue has a very long history with the Black community in the city of Detroit. So for us to not offer that as a part of the way we respect the community would be completely inappropriate.
Since I came out in 2000, it was just a little bitty space like as big as this room right here first. And you know, I met some of the first people that I had like connections with there, like some people that I still hang out with till today. And you know, Ruth Ellis was a safe space for like the youth. They didn't have nowhere else like to hang out. Parents didn't accept them or didn't think that it was other people like them in this world, thought they was the only person like that. They were breaking barriers, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was amazing just to know that they had just a space that was just available for like people like me. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy because the things that you go through being like a person like me, going through the system and stuff like that, it'd be crazy. I learned my elegance and poise from the older generation of transgenders when I came out. They're not around. Most of the ones that I knew are not around anymore. Either they passed away or moved or in prison or something like that. But they weren't big on like the looks of being feminine, but they were very big on actions and the way you handled yourself as a woman. You know, their womanhood was the way they held their hands. They washed their hands all the time, and they always put on lotion. You would always catch them spraying perfume. They talked real light. They walked slow. You know what I'm saying? It was hot. You know, I really digged it. You know, I always used to look at those girls like, who are they? It used to really intrigue me, because I never thought I would be a girl. People used to say, you were so cute as a girl. I used to be like, I'll never be a girl. And I'm a girl. I'm a girl though, yeah. Vogue gave me a connection with my girls. If I had a girlfriend and we didn't have a good connection talking, they didn't like listening to what I had to say, or I didn't feature their hobbies, or they didn't share something with me, we all vogued. We vogued. When it was time to vote, everybody got out there, and you paid attention to what she did, and she paid attention to what you did, and we geeked each other up. Yes, girl, okay, and all that. You know, it's inspiring. Even if you're not doing it good, you can still be out there on the floor. You know what I'm saying? It was, even without the ballroom scene, Vogue is everything. We Vogue. Me and my girls will Vogue. You know what I'm saying? It's more than what it's more than a dance. You know what I'm saying? It's a communication between us.